So, what if the perfect happily ever after was actually built on a lie? That's the question at the core of what we're talking about today. We're diving into Under the Greenwood Tree, which is one of Thomas Hardy's most charming novels. And on the surface, it looks like just a simple country romance. But believe me, it's hiding a pretty big secret right at its heart. Okay, so first things first, the full title is a massive clue. It's not just Under the Greenwood Tree. The rest of it is, or, a rural painting of the Dutch school. That tells you so much right from the get-go, doesn't it? It kind of makes you think of one of those really detailed, warm, intimate paintings of village life. And that's exactly what Hardy gives us here, this beautiful, finely detailed picture of a small English village. So, a little context for you. This book came out way back in 1872. It was actually Hardy's second published novel, but get this, he released it anonymously. And this is a big deal because it was the first of his famous Wessex novels. That whole series that really defined his career and created this incredible fictionalized version of rural England. All right, let's dive into the story. A charming country tale indeed. We're introduced to the Mellstock Choir, and the scene is set on a cold Christmas Eve in this lovely little village called Mellstock. And here, music is, well, it's everything. It's the lifeblood of the whole community. And right at the heart of this village is the Mellstock Parish Choir. Now, this is not just your average choir. Nope. It's this traditional group of singers and fiddlers, and it's basically a family tradition passed down through generations. Our main guy is a young, earnest musician named Dick Dewey. He's in the choir with his dad, Reuben, and his granddad, William. These guys are the real keepers of the old village ways. So it's not all just about music and tradition. Of course not. We've got love at first sight. Like any great story, there's gotta be some romance. And this one kicks off with just a single glance. So imagine this. The choir is going around town doing their Christmas caroling, and they stop at the local schoolhouse. And bam. This is the moment everything changes. Our guy, Dick Dewey, sees the new schoolmistress, the lovely and very smart Fancy Day. And he is just gone. Completely, hopelessly, head over heels in love. Right then and there, his whole mission in life becomes crystal clear. He has got to win her over. But it's never that easy, right? Of course not. This brings us to the two big conflicts in the book, rivals and a fading tradition. So you've got this personal struggle for Fancy's affection, and at the same time, this bigger fight for the very soul of the village. Okay, so first let's talk about the romance. Dick has some pretty serious competition. I mean, he's this passionate but pretty humble musician, and he's up against Farmer Shiner, who's a wealthy landowner, and Mr. Maybold, the brand new vicar. Let's be honest, both of these guys are way more established. In the eyes of the world, they are much better matches for Fancy. But this whole love triangle thing is playing out against a much, much bigger conflict. The real drama is about the soul of the village itself. It's music. So while Dick is trying to win Fancy's heart, his entire community is fighting for its identity, as a beloved tradition is about to be threatened. And here's where it all comes to a head. Tradition versus modernity. On one side, you have the Mellstock Choir. They are the past, the old way of doing things with their singers and fiddlers. But on the other side, you've got the new vicar, Mr. Maybold, who wants to bring in a modern church organ. And guess who he wants to play this new organ? Yep, the very talented Fancy Day. So this puts the choir's tradition, their entire way of life, directly in conflict with Fancy's modern talent. Talk about complicated. And this is where things get really messy. A secret engagement. With all this tension in the air, the road to the altar for Dick and Fancy gets super complicated. We're talking secrets, misunderstandings, the whole 9 yards. Okay, try to keep up because this gets wild. So first, Dick and Fancy get secretly engaged. Great, but then her dad says no. He objects. So Fancy, feeling all this pressure, does something kind of shocking. She goes and accepts a proposal from Mr. Maybold, the vicar. But when Maybold finds out she's already engaged to Dick, he does the right thing. He backs off gracefully and tells her, hey, you really need to be honest with Dick. But here is the massive twist. Fancy agrees to marry Dick, that's all good, but she asks Mr. Maybold for one huge favor. She begs him, keep our initial acceptance forever a secret. And that one decision, man, it just casts this long, dark shadow over everything else. So it looks like we're headed for a happy ending, right? Happily ever after? All the problems seem to be gone, the choir's future is sorted out, and there's a wedding on the way.
And the final chapter is just joyful. The whole village is celebrating. Dick and Fancy are finally getting married. It is the absolute picture-perfect ending that everyone wanted. The sun's out, the whole community is there. It seems like our young couple has finally found their happiness. Or have they?
Right on their wedding day, Dick turns to his new wife, Fancy, and he says something so heartfelt. He tells her, "Our happiness is because we have no secrets, none from today." He truly believes their whole future is built on complete and total honesty. No secrets. It's a beautiful thought, really.
And that, right there, is the brilliant, subtle gut punch of this whole novel. Because while Dick is talking about perfect honesty, what is Fancy doing? She's hiding the secret that she was for a moment engaged to another man. So the book leaves us all with this huge, lingering question, and it's one that's just as real today as it was back then. Can you really build a perfect, happy life on a secret? What do you think?